Thank you very much for tuning in to my mind's channel. This is at The Real Beelzebub. And if you've been following me along so far, you know I am on my 5th edition to my 31 phobias. Actually, this is a bonus. You got 3. Yeah, I thought that heights and fear of heights to fear of falling, fear of flying were all the same. They are not the same. They are all different phobias. Now, the fear of heights, most common. It's a natural fear. And acrophobia, an extreme and or irrational fear of heights. Now, those who suffer from acrophobia will often experience a panic attack that will disable them from getting down safely. When these attacks occur, it puts the sufferer and those around in danger, especially in extreme conditions. Fortunately, those who suffer from acrophobia never seem to put themselves in that position in the first place. Now, the cause of acrophobia, like most phobias, this was usually believed to be caused by a traumatic experience involving, of course, a high place. However, there have been recent studies that put doubt on this theory. Acrophobia is believed to be a non-associative fear, such as falling or even loud noises. A person does not need to experience a traumatic event in order to develop a fear. For example, it is perfectly natural for a person to be afraid of falling. It's when your behavior becomes irrational and or interferes somewhat with your everyday routine. When this starts happening, you may have developed a non-associative fear. Therapy followed with counseling should be suggested, but always see a physician first before making any decisions. Treatment. Now, currently, there are several promising studies involving virtual reality where it's as being a possible way to help cure or at least control their acrophobia. Unfortunately, this is still in the testing phase and is not available to the public at the moment. However, at this time, the most popular method for treating phobias, such as acrophobia, is cognitive behavioral therapy, otherwise known as CBT. The fear of falling. Fear of falling is different than the fear of heights. Now, barophobia, an extreme and or irrational fear of falling. An extremely common phobia. Now, you would think that a person who suffers from acrophobia, because he or she is afraid of falling, this is somewhat true, but there's more to it. Now, a person who is afraid of heights may be able to handle standing securely on a 6-foot ladder next to an open stairwell. However, a person fearful of falling would probably not be able to handle such a task for fear of falling down the open stairwell. For me, it's not the falling I'm scared of, it's what might become of it. Senior citizens developing barophobia. Now, some senior citizens develop barophobia from a traumatic experience. Now, developing phobias. Now, how phobias develop. The complete understanding of how and why a phobia develops is still unknown. However, experts on the subject seriously suggest that traumatic events may trigger certain fears which may in turn interfere with daily life. When a person's fear starts to interfere with a person's daily routine, it may be considered a phobia. If you feel that you or someone you know suffers from an irrational fear, have them or you seek medical attention as soon as possible. Aerophobia, now the fear of flying, one of the most common phobias of them all. The fear of flying is a common phobia. Although experts believe phobias have been around since the Stone Ages, the fear of flying is believed to be a rather new phobia since the invention of the airplane. Now, a person doesn't have to experience a traumatic event like a plane crash to develop aerophobia. A person may just have to watch a plane crash to develop this understandable phobia. The fear of flying won't necessarily interfere in a person's daily routine unless they travel for a living. A person with a phobia, such as aerophobia, can live a normal life on the ground with very little or no medical problems concerning the phobia. Understandable phobias. Now, an understandable phobia is a phobia that most people understand. The fear of flying, the fear of heights, the fear of drowning, elevators, and even sharks might be considered an understandable phobia. However, there are people who consider some phobias just silly and are treatable. You know what? They couldn't be further from the truth. All phobias are considered serious, and treatment is needed for all cases, no matter what phobia exists. Now, what is a phobia? In Greek, it's Greek fear, morbid fear. It's a type of anxiety disorder when used in the context of clinical psychology. It is usually, in definition, as a constant fear of an object or situation in which the sufferer will go to great lengths to avoid the actual danger posed. Typically, disproportional to the situation at hand. Their behavior is often recognized as irrational. If the phobia cannot be avoided entirely, the sufferer will possibly make an embarrassing scene to others or to themselves, more likely to both, obviously because they feel they or others are in danger. Now, if you like this little video, I'd appreciate if you guys would, here's a short link to it if you want to read the article for yourself. And don't forget to subscribe. While you're at it, why don't you give that thumbs up? Thank you guys very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.